most times it stays behind closed doors. And the topic is saying, okay, please drop emojis if you can hear me, please. If you can hear me, drop your emojis. Thank you so much. I can see them. Thank you very much. Our topic this morning is breaking the stigma around men's mental health. You know, growing up in our society, men are always handed a very big, heavy on and unwritten manual from a very young age. A boy and a man is the boy is always taught, you have to be a man, hold it in, you have to man up and all of that. So we are socialized to believe that a father or a brother or a son should be like a rock. Man, you can't crush, you can't crack, even under pressure. But today we are looking from a psychological angle. We should know that suppressed emotions do not disappear. Please, I would love for you to drop your emojis if you are with me. Suppressed emotions do not disappear, they simply manifest. Most time they hurt our families. Thank you very much. I can see them. They hurt our families and hurt our productivities. Thank you very much. I can see your emojis. So, but before I introduce our guest, I want to actually check the pulse of this room with this question. I hope everybody can listen to me. I don't know. You can answer with your same emoji. I would love to see the same emoji. Have you or you're seeing a man close to you ever hidden an emotional or mental struggle, simply to avoid being judged, or told you just man up and all of that? I don't know if we heard the question. Have you ever seen a man? Have you ever seen a man close to you? You know, he hiding his emotions, mental struggle, and simply just to avoid being judged. We can just send our emojis with that. So let's continue. Before I introduce our guest today, our speaker rather, we are here to say that true strength isn't about carrying a heavy load in silence. Today we are here to discuss about having the courage to speak up. So to help us look at this critically, we have an exceptional speaker in the house with us today, a licensed psychologist, and mental therapist, Dr. Yusuf Alawade. Thank you so much to be here today. Dr. Yusuf, thank you so much. Dr. Yusuf, are you there? Thank you so much for here. So we know how heavy the pressure is on men
Yes, I'm
today to
here.
always,
I
thank you
can
so
hear
much,
you.
Dr. Yusuf. Thank you so much. We know how heavy the pressure is on men today, to always stay strong, don't complain, you can't be vulnerable, to always take it, understand what I'm saying? Despite what that man is going through. So to kick off this presentation, I want us to know, we also want to know, Dr. Yusuf, how do we stop this culture of silent suffering? How can we convince men that it's okay to ask for help? It is actually a sign of strength. I don't know if you're here with me, Dr. Yusuf. Today, to kick off this presentation, we want to know, how do we stop this culture of
100%
silent
I'm here
suffering?
with you.
Can you hear me,
Hmm.
please, Dr. Yusuf?
I can hear you clearly. I hope you
Thank
can
you
hear me
so
as
much.
well.
I thank you so much. So we want to know, how do we stop this culture of silent suffering? How can we convince men that asking for help is actually a sign of true strength, not weakness? You have the floor now, Dr. Yusuf.
Thank you so much, Umi. I really appreciate this. And oftentimes, when I'm
You're
asked to
welcome.
come and talk about men's mental health, what first comes to my mind is, do we even understand what mental health means? When you hear the word mental health for the first time, what comes to your mind? And I want us to just drop an something in the comment section to actually tell me what you know about mental health. When you hear the word mental health, what comes to your mind? Is it the same normal thing that we grow up hearing, or what Nollywood has portrayed to us? What exactly does mental health mean to you, if I may ask? So you can drop that in the chat box, please. All right, to go further, what we want to discuss today is basically something that oftentimes when we hear it, you're like, okay, state of well-being. Thank you, Mustafa, for that. I guess how strong you are emotionally. Oh, Superman. Oshé. Okay. Any other person? All right. While we wait for others to actually give their comments, I will start with saying the real strength speaks. It's not actually when you keep quiet that you're actually strong as a man. And one of the things we've all carried along around us since we were giving birth to is, man, don't say anything, don't speak up. You are a man, you should be strong. And we always forget one thing: the same emotion that run through the lady's vein, run through my vein. So why should I not express the emotion? These are the things we want to look at today. And how did we even get to the part where we can't speak up, where we can't express ourselves, where we can't even say, these are the things I'm going through? And that is why a statistic says there is more suicide in men than women, but there is more suicidal attempts in women than men. I'll start with that. And you see, to go further, I'll go to the next thing I want to talk about. How did we even get here? What actually led us to these emotions? Sorry, I'm unable to control the slide from here. What's going on? So basically, one of the things that affect us as men is our emotions are not being expressed, and that has a way by which it affects us as human. And we want to look at it today. What does it even mean to express our emotion? What does our emotional expression means? As a man, we grow up in a community where we were not allowed to express our emotion, where we were told, "Na man you be, man up." And these are the that has led us to where we are today. Society expects Nigerian men, especially, to be strong emotionally, to be strong and be that tough man that they want you to be. They want you to be a financial provider and a problem solver as well at all times. When there's an issue, they don't expect you to say, "Oh, I don't know what to do about this." Also, they expect us to be a community leader. These are strong emotions that have been placed on us, and it affects us directly or indirectly. Can a man be strong and still ask for help? Yes. Real men, the real strength in men is actually knowing when to seek help. Resilience is not, "Oh, I am Superman, I am strong, I can do anything. Oh, I can control everything, I can shoulder anybody." No, resilience is knowing when to say, "Oh, no, I can't do this. No, I am tired. No, I need a hug. Please, I need that support." Asking for that help is real resilience. What is mental health? If I may give the proper definition of mental health. Mental health is described as a state of emotional well-being, social well-being, and psychological well-being. Also, also spiritual well-being, in which an individual realizes his or her own ability, can cope with daily stressor, and can communicate, can initiate and maintain relationship, can also use spirituality to solve problems, and also contribute meaningfully to his community. I'll go over the definition again. Mental health is a state of emotional well-being, social well-being, psychological well-being, physical well-being, and spiritual well-being, in which an individual realizes his own ability to cope with daily stressor, can work productively, can initiate and maintain relationship, can use spirituality to solve problems, and can communicate meaningfully to his community. Now, let's look at that. From that definition, it has told us that stress is inevitable. It has come to stay. It's part of our life. It's not going anywhere. No matter how much you say, "Oh, I don't want to be stressed." Stress is a natural phenomenon that we will always go through. But one thing about stress is it could be positive, it could be negative. We all want to grow. We all want to progress. We all want promotion. If today they are to tell you that, "Oh, you've been promoted to so position," you'll be glad. But does that mean being promoted, you are just going to sit down and not do any other thing that makes you to be promoted to that position? If your work was like, let's say 10% before, It's with promotion, it comes to about 50% or 100. Now, that is a positive stress because you feel good doing that and you are rewarded handsomely. You like that. And that is actually eustress. But the distress, being a Nigerian, living in Nigeria is already stress on its own. Therefore, some of us that now stay in Lagos, double wahala, we are here for it. Now, what is mental health saying? Mental health is not Superman, always hold it in. No, now man you be, don't show the emotion. That is not mental health. Mental health is not the way we are being told. Oh, when you hear the word Yaba left, people begin to feel, oh, it is mental health facility. Oh, people they are not normal. Whereas it is not like that. When you hear things like, oh, they mention colomental and all that, that is what people classify mental health as. But I will be glad to tell you today that mental health is there is nobody that is autoimmune to mental health. We all have what we call mental health. From the definition I've given, if you have to look at it critically, you will see that there is nobody that is 100% fit in all those areas mentioned. And to go further, mental illness is totally different from mental health. Now, let's look at the component of mental health here: emotional, psychological, and social. The first thing when we talk about our emotional aspect of our mental health is we are talking about how we feel, how we process information, and how we manage our emotion. And the psychological part, we are talking about how we think, make decisions, and cope with challenges of life. There's nobody that has promised us that the road will be smooth. You are not going to face challenges in life. There will always be challenges, but how you cope with it, that is what matters. That is why I also said stress is inevitable, but how you manage your stress is what is important. Then the social aspect, how we relate to others, function within our communities, how we socialize, how you engage your friend, your loved one. All this has a way by which it can make us have a better mental health. So, what basically causes people to break down with mental health starts with how we think, the way we process information, the clarity, the memory, the decision we make, how you process that thing that you perceived, have a way by which it affects your feelings. It causes certain emotion for you. You are in certain mode. How you regulate your mood based on what you think have effect on how you now feel, have effect on how you act, which is your behavior. How you relate with your family and friend, your colleague, people around you, and the way you now cope with that stress is now what can make you to either stay mentally stable or not stable. Either to have a stable mental health or unstable mental health. So how we think affects how we feel. How we feel affects how we act or behave. And how we now cope with it makes us to either break down with mental health challenges or not. So imagine you've had something negative about Yusuf today. See me today and I'm smiling, telling you different lovely things. You are going to have a way by which you just look at me. Based on the perception of me you've had and how you've thought about me, that generates certain emotion for you, right? Then that determines how you will relate with me, act towards me when you see me. Now, let's look at men's mental health, which is the topic of the day. Why men suffer in silence? There are basic few things why men suffer in silence. The first is fear of judgment from peers. One of the things we do as guys is we are in a gathering. Let's say Friday, TGIF, we are just hanging out and we are relaxing. And the next thing is, oh my God, if you hear what they go through, this thing disturb me so much. So I can't even process things. I can't function at all. You've not even said what you are going through. But your friend or your colleague there will say, guy, wait till they go through, wait till say they go through problem. If I tell you wait till me how they go through, you don't know, say your own small. The reality is we are not doing problem competition. But within us as guys, we are killing that ability to express our emotion, ability to tell ourselves what is going on, so that talking about it has a way by which it makes us feel relieved. So we have that fear of being judged, or fear of people telling us, now man you be now. That this one thing they make you feel weak. Oga, shake and off, you'll be all right. Then there's another part, the cultural expectation of toughness. Is there a guy here or any man here that will tell me that they have not had a word? That man you should always be strong. Those are the cultural expectation. Cultural expectation expect you to be the leader of the house, to be the head of the family, to provide, to support, to always be there to solve any problem or any challenges anyone is going through. Then there's that religious misconception as well. There's a way religion portray men to be. Oh, they believe that men should be the pastor. They believe that men should be the imam. They believe that men should have some basic responsibility you hold in the religious setting. When you say this, or when there's any issue, we expect that the men in that gathering, in religious gathering, should be the one that will first resolve all the problems. So aside from cultural, there is a lot of burden being placed on us in the religious setting as well. Now, limited mental health awareness is another thing. Most of us don't even believe there's anything called mental health. We don't even most times talk about it. In my years of experience as a clinical psychologist, oftentimes when I see men come into therapy, they are either being pushed to come for it, or they are going through another issue as a result of them not speaking up, which is already affecting them. Most of them, either they have resolved into the coping mechanism when help is delayed, which is the substance abuse. That also creates issue. Lack of mental health awareness is the problem. Now, when help is delayed, what happens? Imagine I have been going through a series of challenges as a guy for the longest, and I'm unable to sleep. I'm constantly thinking and worrying. I'm losing interest in things I used to enjoy, and I don't constantly feel happy, constant feeling of sadness. Nothing interests me again. I constantly have low energy. Then you notice I began to take coffee every morning. I don't miss my coffee. I'm not saying coffee is totally bad, but when you notice you cannot function without taking the coffee, or you see us going around with, oh, I need cigarette break, I need to do this, not because we truly want to engage in it as a recreation. We resolve into using substance as a coping mechanism for whatever challenges you are going through. Now imagine one of the day, a friend of mine just see me and say, Yusuf, what did they do you that you are always dull like this? Don't you think, guy, let's go out, let's hang out. When you drink, you will forget the problem. And he gave me alcohol to drink the first time. And I drank the alcohol. And lo and behold, I didn't think about any problem I going through at that time. What do you think I will do at the end of the day? I will continue the use of that alcohol because it has made me enjoy one thing, which is euphoria feeling of pleasure that doesn't last long. That is what we call euphoria feeling. And it is real when we are using substance while going through some certain challenges. Then family breakdown is another thing. When you don't speak up about the problem, you just see that probably your wife get tired of asking what is going on. Your wife is not even sure of what you are going through. They don't even know how best to help you. They don't even know how best to support you. It can cause family breakdown. The workplace violence, you begin to become an angry bird. When you get to the office, normally you greet everybody, you relate. But at this point, you are highly irritable. And that is one thing that not speaking up about your suffering or what you are going through can lead to. Then depression, it is real and more common in men. And I will say, one of the coping mechanisms that men do when they are going through a lot is you see them, they bury themselves in work. That is not normal performance at work. That is what we call high functioning depression. Then when this depression is untreated, they begin to feel hopeless, worthless, and then the next thing is thought of losing it all. Let me just end it all. The suicidal thought happens. And that is why the research says there is more suicide in men than women, but there is more suicidal attempts in men than women. in women than men rather. So you see, men, because they didn't express their emotion, they are quick to think of, let me just end it up, because they feel they tried all means, no solution, no one is listening to them. These are challenges that men go through. Because they don't speak up, it can lead to suicide. They can die by suicide. But for women, even when they are at the point of attempting the suicide, they could break down. And by breaking down, they cried, they expressed their emotion. Crying is therapeutic. And for us as men to cry, we have been told that men don't cry. Be a man, just suck it in. Nama you be. Be a man, don't cry, don't express the emotion. Stop behaving like a woman. Huh? Don't say, why are you feeling weak like this? Are you a weak man? Those are the things we grow up hearing. Endure it and do it yourself. Women, don't complain, just suck it in and find solution to it. The impact of this message teaches us emotional suppression rather than emotional expression, which is not what we know to be emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is knowing when to also seek for help, and that is necessary. Then, cultural pressure on Nigerian men to be specific. A Nigerian man is often expected to provide financially for their family, support the extended family. Before you know it, if you graduate today as a man from university, oh, you got a job. There are expectations from you that your family want you to get. Oh, now you have a job, and you are of age. How far? When are you getting married? That's the first thing they ask you. They did not even ask you if your job is giving you sustainable income, if you have a sustainable income, if you are financially stable, if you are emotionally ready for the marriage. Because marriage is not just about I have a partner. Emotionally, spiritually, financially, you must be ready to accommodate another human being. This person, remember, she's comfortable in her father's house before. She's doing well herself. If you are going to bring her in, you should bring her to a safe space again, not a place that you are still struggling to cope. So there is that expectation. Oh, your auntie children, they have not been able to pay their school fees for a while now. The family expects you to also support it one way or the other. Then there's black tax. There's that demand from you constantly, from your family, immediate family, your parents. There's that financial burden you need to provide for them. All these puts men into that distress, and they never show any of their weakness ever to anybody. When life becomes difficult, men feel ashamed and inadequate and isolated. So when you are unable to provide this financial support, you begin to feel, I'm not good enough. All my mates are doing well. I'm not doing well. So you begin to have feeling of incompetence. You begin to doubt your own ability, if you are good enough or not. Then you begin to feel worthless, like, with all the energy and effort I'm putting in, I'm not seeing any result. Does that mean I'm not good enough? Then hopelessness feeling can set in. These are challenges that men go through that they don't talk about. Then relationship and family pressure. One man with many responsibility, from our parents, from our siblings, our wife and children, then the extended relative. We don't most times shows any of this emotion. When every layer demands support, but none asks, are you okay? Its weight become invisible, but it crushes us as men. Because people want to get from you. There's nobody that actually asks, Charles, how are you doing? Mohammed, how are you feeling today? Paul, are you actually okay? They just see us coming out and they expect that all the time we must smile. We must be able to answer when they say, oh, Yusuf, we need you. Yusuf, we need this. We must be able to answer. That is the responsibility they've put on us. And at what point do we get somebody asking us, how are you actually doing? And sometimes ago, I think about 3-4 years ago, when I had to men's session like this, and one thing I said, one of the things I will always say in my relationship is, if I'm in relationship with a lady and I cannot tell you how I'm truly feeling, forget it. I'm not going to be in that relationship. And if I'm going to say I'm marrying somebody, it must be somebody that can see me crying. And when I'm crying, you are not going to tell me I'm a weak man. You are going to actually, even if you don't know what to say, just listen to me or just pat me and hug me. That goes a long way than you telling me, why are you crying? Don't be mad, you be. You kill the morale more. And then in that kind of relationship, you will see the husband becoming weak. You will see them not enjoying their marriage. In a house where you can't tell your partner what you are going through, you will find it difficult to survive mentally because that mental support, that is why we see more men die by suicide. That is why we see marriages breaking up because people don't express what they are going through. Oh, my wife knows one thing. If I'm going through this, the moment she say, are you okay? How was work today? Have that constant and continuous conversation with your partner. Let them know where you are and how you are doing mentally. What you don't have, they won't put the demand on you because they know you are actually a good support system. And be a friend to your partner. That makes things easy. Make sure you marry somebody if you are not married yet. Make sure you marry somebody that is a friend that you can express yourself to, not somebody that you get to, you still need to man up. You fake it in the presence of everybody at work and outside. But at home, be vulnerable. Let your wife be the shoulder to lean on. And for the ladies on this call as well, be a shoulder for your man to lean on. Support them in every way possible. What is mental health stigma that men now go through? Stigma is actually negative attitude and belief that makes people feel ashamed of seeking help. You hear things like, he's mentally unstable when he's seeking help. You see that man, he's seeking mental health support. He's mentally unstable. I saw him going to therapy. That is some of the things we hear. He's simply weak because they see you expressing your emotion. These are stigma that they put on us as men. They don't believe we have emotion. We should express it. They also tell us women should not be tough, should be tough. Okay, I no be Superman, oh, na man I be, and they say blood that run through my vein, run through the lady veins. If they are permitted to express their emotion, I should express my emotion as well. And they also go by, oh, see the way he's acting, he's possessed by spirit or demon. And then when you often tell people that I am not feeling too good, I am down, I am not happy, they tell you you are not praying enough, you lack faith in God. Oh, believe God will do it, don't worry, just have faith. Yes, God will do it, but this is what I'm going through. Let me express it to you. Hear me out. When a man is expressing themselves, you don't tell them to, no, na man you be. Don't say it. Those are stigma that we've carried on for the longest. Then they also tell us when you say, I want to seek support, therapy, I want to go into therapy, they tell you therapy is for mad people. That is not true. You see men avoiding therapy, counseling, and professional support, not because they don't want to, but because of fear of what people will say. But when we die by suicide, this same set of people will say, he should have opened up. We didn't know he was going through anything. These are things that people say after the effect. Why don't we offer the help and that support at that time when we needed it? What are now the common mental health conditions that men go through? One of the most common one is actually depression. Depression, some of the symptoms of depression is persistent sadness, loss of interest in pleasurable activities, feeling of tiredness or fatigue, or hopelessness or worthlessness. Sometimes, then poor and excessive, it could be poor sleep or excessive sleep sometimes, poor appetite or excessive appetite. You see some man be cheating, not because they are hungry, but they feel, when I chop, I don't do okay, make I just dey chop because I don't know when I go die. Things like that are things we hear people say often, and this has a way by which it affects us. Now, it is not just because you are feeling sad today that I will say you are depressed. Depression is you having some of these symptoms I've mentioned consistently for minimum of 2 weeks with no maximum. What are now the things? The other one is anxiety disorder, excessive worry, palpitation, restlessness, and physical tension. And sometimes you just see that you are having that your heart raising, or you are even finding it difficult to breathe. Sometimes when school fees, when children are on holiday, we are at peace. But the moment is approaching the time that they will resume from holiday, our heart starts beating fast. We are worried about how to pay school fees. And sometimes that school fees is falling towards the time you will pay house rent. It's falling towards the time you will have to pay this. We just begin to see that, this person BP is going up anyhow. They are unable to sleep. Why are they going through that? Sometimes it's as a result of mental health challenges they are going through that has start exhibiting or showing in physical illness. Then stress and burnout is another part. Emotional exhaustion, constantly feeling irritable. They are constantly, if you greet them or you are talking to them about something, rather than responding to you calmly, they are always quick to respond aggressively. I could say literally about 75 to 80% of Lagosians are stressed and burnout. That is why in Lagos, they are always angry. They are always in an hurry. They are always in that hot temper. Small things, small issue that shouldn't cause any distress. The way we react to it in Lagos is totally different between the way another person will react to it that in another state. People in Abuja will tell us that, I can't stay in that your Lagos. So why? We are always in a hurry. So exhaustion, emotional exhaustion, you are just going to see that you are having that brain fog. Sometimes when you are burned out, when you are stressed out, you are stressed and burned out, you will feel that brain fog. You are forgetting things. You are finding it difficult to remember things. You are highly irritable. The moment you start noticing that, know that yes, you are stressed. Sleep problem is another thing you might encounter. Then detachment is one of other major things. You don't even want to hear anybody or relate with anybody. Then how depression often looks in different men. A lot of time, this part, I love talking about it a lot. And I've mentioned some things about it earlier. We expect sadness, right? But a lot of time, in men, depression often wear different face. You see the symptoms I earlier mentioned: loss of interest in pleasurable activities, persistent sadness, withdrawn to self, and poor appetite or excessive appetite, poor sleep or excessive sleep. What you see most time in men, the first is aggression, anger and aggression. They are highly irritable. You see them, any small thing, when the mother or the wife asks for something in the house, the way we respond is like we are fighting war, or she has offended us before that time. So we respond with anger in every situation we find ourselves, either at work. If they complain that, you haven't been doing this so well. Oh, this person hates me, or I have issue with this person, are things that we often hear people say. And then that anger and aggression is one of our response. Then risk-taking behavior. That is when you will see us saying, I feel I want to do this. Things we know we don't have the capability to do, we began to do it. Or sometimes we just go out abusing substance. One of the most common coping mechanisms that men use in managing their depression is actually substance abuse. We sleep on alcohol and we activate our day by using cigarette or coffee. These are things that we do. Then we withdraw from family. We don't even relate with people. They will say, there's a family event. We hardly go there. Then excessive overthinking, overworking. We bury ourselves in work. And rather than seeing the normal symptoms of depression, we see what we call high-functioning depression, aka fake it till you make it. The person is the first to get to the office, last to close. The person at work might not probably eat. They activate their day with coffee and a piece of biscuit, and that might be all for that day. And then you also see them doing more than usual at work. They finish their work. They will come and miss Yusuf. Yusuf, have you finished your work? Give me that work. Let me quickly do it for you. These are symptoms of high-functioning depression. And you see them at work sometimes. They joke a lot. But behind that joke, who are they? When you ask your friend, how are you doing truly, truly, and they tell you I'm fine, look beyond what they are saying and look into their eye to ask what are actually the things they are going through. So men, basically, many people misses the sign because they expect tear, they expect they are withdrawn, they expect rage, they expect silence, not chaos. But what you see in men is this other part. Now, let's quickly look at some other parts. Then we've talked about suicide. Talking about your emotional pain can save life. Silence is not protection, it is actually risk. And that is why it is necessary for us to speak up. And now, sign. What are the signs that men may be struggling with their mental health? You see that they are constantly irritable, they are struggling with their moods, any small thing, they are changing their mood, excessive drinking or substance abuse, either using of cannabis or other pills. Then loss of motivation, some sleep on alcohol and then activate their day of coffee. Loss of motivation or interest in things they usually enjoy. They don't even have interest in their wife. They make statement of hopelessness and whatness a lot of time. Then you see them withdraw from their loved one. Then most times they are not sleeping and they are neglecting their personal hygiene a lot of time. The cost of this silence on us as a community, the first is on the individual. You see them having some physical illness, then reduce quality of life. In the family part, you see constant conflict or they distance themselves from their family, which is most times as a result of what they are going through. Emotional unavailability is another thing. The workplace, you see them having low productivity. Then constant absenteeism. They are at work, but they are not present. Then in the society, you see more violence and substance abuse is high. Then the link between mental health and physical health now. Let's quickly look at that. When you have chronic stress, you see that your blood pressure or your heart, you are having heart diseases. Then depression, you most times see that you are having a weakened immune system. You fall sick more often. And the more you go to the hospital, the more they say you are having malaria. And the more they treat malaria, the more you go back to treat it again. And the highest they tell you, you are having malaria and typhoid. Because of our time, I'll quickly go to the part that I really want us to do. The myth that people tell us a lot is men should handle their problem alone. Everybody needs support. Sometimes it's not just as just a man. Everybody needs support. Speak up about your problem. Depression is just weakness. No, depression is a symptom, a continuous symptoms that are occur concurrently for certain duration. And it is necessary. What real strength looks like is actually asking for help when you need it, expressing your emotion honestly, seeking professional treatment, support others when they are struggling. Don't do problem competition. Oh, my problem pass your own. Don't be waiting what they do here with that. Being honest about your journey. Express yourself to somebody who will listen to you, not judgmentally, and will not criticize you and will not use your information against you. Strength is not silent. Strength is taking action. And creating safe space for men, one of the things we need to do as family, as friend, as community, we need to learn to listen, not judgmentally. Check in on our friend regularly. Encourage open conversation about mental health. Let's avoid mocking people. Then let's celebrate their courage when they speak up. Then as community, let's break that stigma of man up. When we talk about men, don't let us constantly be saying them, telling them that, oh, now man, you be. Let's celebrate people who are seeking support. And as an employer, because we spend the most productive hours of our day at work, we need to make the workplace a good place. Promote genuine work-life balance. Provide counseling, EAP, and reduce toxic culture, that toughening up. Oh, you should be able to turn this in as soon as possible. One of the things this will cause is it will reduce burnout and chronic stress, and it will give that emotional, that psychological safety to the employer as well, and the workplace will feel more better. What are the things we can practice that will help us stay stable? The first is regular exercise. Exercise is not only when you hit the gym. Taking walks, you have smartphone, time yourself to take about 5,000 to 6,000 steps on a daily basis. That will help regulate your stress hormone, and it will also release what we call endorphin, which is known as happy hormone. Happy hormone is being used when you feel stress. The body will release the excess that it has stored when you exercise. When you feel down, it is being released. Then limit consumption of substance. Sleep adequately. The normal standard according to WHO is 7 to 9 hours. But if you can't get at least minimum of 6 hours. Talk about your feeling and build real friendship. Invest in people who listen to you non-judgmentally. Also, listen to people and seek professional help. And when you want to provide support for people, don't listen, do listen actively. Don't judge or minimize their feeling. It is their feeling, it is unique, it is individualized, it is specific to them. Don't minimize it. Show empathy. I'm here for you. Listen to them, not sympathy. We don't want you to cry with us. We only want you to listen to us, not judgmentally. And follow up and check again. Check in again with them. Share your struggle with somebody who will listen to you. And don't disappear after you've listened to them or use their information to judge them. And we need to break this stigma. And to break the stigma, it starts with me and you. Talk about your mental health in your circle. Check on your friend. Don't just say, oh, I'm busy, I'm busy. You can be busy, but that's in my friend's circle. We create, if the thing is urgent, just say, I need 5 minutes. We know no matter what you are doing, you need to create that time for that, my friend. That is the things we create in my circle. Because that 5 minutes to listen goes a long way. Than for me to be crying during their burial, where they are killed by them, kill themselves by suicide, die by suicide. They seek professional help when you need it. And speaking up is not weakness. Speaking up is actually strength. And I will end with this. Mental health challenges is real. Don't discriminate. Behind many smiling faces are silent struggles. People are going through a lot. Don't be the reason why your colleague or your subordinate is constantly feeling unhappy. Be the reason why someone is happy. And I will say, make someone happy on a daily basis. But remember, you are someone. Make yourself happy. A healthier man have a stronger family. And with that, we can build a compassionate community. Real strength speaks. Thank you. Over to you, Oluwafunmilayo.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Yusuf, for that incredible, powerful, and deeply insightful presentation. Thank you so very much. So what stood out for me was when you spoke about there's nobody immune to mental health, and also crying is therapeutic. Thank you so much for that. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open for questions. If you have questions for our speaker, please type it directly into the chat box. Thank you so much. So while the question is going on, we want to say a very big thank you to CubeCover for making this seminar a reality. So CubeCover, basically, some persons are wondering what CubeCover is. CubeCover is redefining the insurance landscape through smarter technology-led solutions by bridging the gap between everyday needs and financial protection. We provide a very seamless digital first experience that covers everything from health to wellness to property and device insurance, with a mission to make protection accessible to everyone. CubeCover empowers users with instant policy generation, rapid claims processing, and high performance infrastructure built for modern era. So while the questions are coming in, the best way to support a close friend or a husband who is clearly going through a tough time mentally is not by pushing him away. It's not by just accepting or just hearing, oh, I am fine. We have to dig deep. We have to check up on our brothers, our fathers, and our sons. Thank you so much to everybody who has partaken in this webinar. So as our questions are coming in, I would love for Ms. Bemi to read the questions for our speaker. I think because of time, we'll just take like maybe 4 to 5 questions so that our speaker can quickly answer them for us. Miss Bemi, are you there? Okay, so while that is going on, we are trying to draw this impactful session to close. We want to make sure we don't just leave just with information, but with action. We can, according to Dr. Yusuf, we can start doing that today in our homes, in our offices, and amongst ourselves, like with our friends and all of that. Thank you so much. So there's a practical takeaway I took from what Dr. Yusuf said today. Check on your brothers intentionally, not just how far, not just how you did. Don't just accept a quick response from, please try and dig a little bit deeper. When you notice a friend withdrawing or acting unusual, give them a call, see them and ask them, it's safe to speak with me. Let's create a non-judgmental zone. Thank you very much. And also, according to what Dr. Yusuf was saying, let's stop telling our young men and young boys to man up whenever they want to express themselves, whenever they are expressing their heart. Let's teach them and also help the next generation that real strength speaks. I think it's time for us to take our questions now. I think our questions are coming up. Bemi, are you there to take up the questions so that Dr. Yusuf
Bemi is
can
not
answer
available
them?
right now. I will take up the questions.
Okay,
The
thank you,
first
Dr. Faith.
question is, how can someone tell whether these symptoms are primarily related to ADHD, that is attention deficit hyperactive disorder, maladaptive daydreaming, loneliness, anxiety, or something else? Is it possible for several of these factors to interact and reinforce each other?
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, I think one of the things I would say is if we are to leave it open and go by what people read online, I will say all men in Nigeria are having ADHD, but we don't make diagnosis in that way. The best you could do, go to a hospital, a mental health facility, or a hospital that has mental health experts. They will give you an assessment. From assessment, we will see what if you are having ADHD symptoms, we know. And if you are having depression, from our clerking, history taking, we take your history, ask you some questions. We will know that, oh, this is actually anxiety disorder. This is actually depression. And we guide you on what treatment possibility or how you can get treated or supported. So they can also there can be comorbidity. You can have depression and also have ADHD. You can have anxiety and still have ADHD. ADHD is neurodevelopmental condition, while depression, anxiety, and the likes are psychopathology. They are mental health condition. The ADHD has to do with your neurological development. And then depression, anxiety has to do with your mental health, which is basically sometimes imbalance in our neurotransmitter. So they are not the same, but they can be comorbid. And the best is when you notice that for ADHD, you are constantly not having that energy to function, or you can't multitask, you are always having unfinished work. Daydreaming is one of it. Loss of attention, hyperactivity is another thing. Then if you are to be an adult, you are engaging in physical work. Your work is physical. You go to the field and all that. You might not quickly notice, but if you are put in the office to do office work, you are sitting on your system to do things, you will notice a lot of procrastination. That is also symptoms of ADHD. And with that, you can always reach out. We will be able to guide you on what to do and how to help you. Sometimes it might require medication. We make a referral to a psychiatrist so that that medication can keep you in check and you can feel more better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yusuf, for that, for the answering our questions and for those brilliant answers. Thank you so much. So I don't know if you can take more questions because of our time. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's webinar. You have taken the first step towards, okay, I think we have a question. Dr. Faith, can you kindly read that? I think we have a question, or we can take one more question because of our time. Please, one more question. Dr. Faith, are you there? One more
Okay.
question.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Okay, so we can take all the questions. But let's but I would say please come on the platform if you have questions, if you need someone to talk to. Dr. Yusuf is one of our psychologists. He does mental therapy, he does mental healing, and you can always reach out to him if you need to talk. Okay, so the next question is, in a situation where a man is suffering from intergenerational trauma, how can a man have an insight on what's really happening and when to seek help? Did you get the question, sir?
Yes, I get that. Okay, so one of the things is intergenerational trauma. It's a trauma tree. Your father was raised in a certain way. They did not learn from any other person. They have learned from their parents. And their parents have not learned from any other person. They've learned from their parents as well. So we carry that same trauma on and on. How I was raised is based on the exposure my parents had. And I will also want to say I will raise my children like that. But because I have been exposed to understanding that the way I was raised then, let me give you an example. As a child, you can tell your mom, if a visitor comes to your house and they say, come and take, and you look at your mom, say, for me, in my generation, merely looking at my mother, I know they didn't born me where to go and take that thing. Or you ask your mom, can I take it? Take it. That take it is not approving that you should take it. But if you hear the word like this, you can take it, I know it is approval. In our generation, merely looking at our parents' face, we can learn, we can understand what they are trying to communicate. But you see, the generation of today, you can't say, you bring water, for instance, an example that comes to my head now. You bring water for your parents and they say, you ask your mom, where should I put it? They say, put it on my head. My generation, I know what it means is put it on the table or put it down. But tell the children of today, put it on my head. They will literally put it on your head. So we need to unlearn some of these things. That is why this platform is there for you. Speak to us. Reach out to the mental health. Just click on the mental health button. We are there to listen to you because we understand that intergenerational trauma is a trauma tree that we keep carrying. Imagine you have a backpack. You keep carrying that backpack around. Every emotion, everything you go through, you dump it there. That backpack will get to a stage you won't be able to move. That is the effect of trauma. So speaking to a professional who will break that trauma for you and make you understand how to actually relate. Most of us, especially the men, we are relating to people from trauma aspects, not from the reality of the experience we are having at that moment. So we need to actually speak to people who can listen to us non-judgmentally. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yusuf, for that brilliant answer. We are so grateful for that. So we can push our questions down to our platform. We have therapy. We have licensed therapists that would do judgment to those questions. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's webinar. You have taken the first step towards breaking a heavy and generational cycle of silence. We are so grateful for that. Now, if you want a direct and immediate access to professional care from the comfort of your home, our organization has made it incredibly easy for you. Download our app on CubeCover on Google Play Store. It's a 24/7 checking on, and you can also make consultations with our team of specialists, including the licensed medical doctor, the sex therapist, and the mental therapist. You can also follow us on our social media platform. We are on LinkedIn. I think the link is down below. We are on LinkedIn. We are on Facebook and other social media platforms. Thank you so much. And also, before going,
Hello,
I would
Madam Fumi.
yes,
I've
ma'am.
just received a go ahead to take more questions.
Oh, that's very good. Thank you.
I've just received a go ahead to take more questions. So let's continue with the questions.
Oh, no problem. That's
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's
so
good. That's good.
the next question is aside drug and alcohol, what activities help with releasing dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and oxytocin?
Okay. Wow. I love the person that asked this question. Thank you. Aside from alcohol doesn't help you release those things. Actually, what they give, you might feel it is dopamine. Yes, when you take drugs, you feel that hyperactivity, you feel relaxed, but they don't last long because they are euphoric in nature. And what you can get dopamine by engaging in pleasurable activities, things that makes you happy. Serotonin, eating healthy food can help you get enough serotonin. Endorphin, exercise help in releasing endorphin, which is known as happy hormone. And oxytocin, soft touch from your loved one can help you release oxytocin. Going for massage can help you release oxytocin. That small early in the morning sunlight that they say give vitamin D can also help you feel relaxed. Going to the beach, putting your leg on that soft sand and going close to the water can also help you release the endorphin, oxytocin rather. These are natural things that you can get. What drugs give you are euphoric in nature. And you will agree with me that they have a lot of negative consequences. And that will lead you to substance addiction because your tolerance will increase. What you are using before that you feel okay with will not be enough for you again. You need to keep increasing it in order to get the same feeling. And that will lead you to substance dependency. And from dependency, addiction will set in. When it gets to a stage, that particular drug you are using will not be enough again. You need another substance to also get more feeling. Because if you are to be taking, I love using cannabis for instance, for example here now. If you started with, you are using normal weed, it will get to a stage, normal weed will not give you the feeling again. You need to graduate to SK. SK will not give you the feeling when you get to a stage again. You need to graduate to Ghana Loud. From Ghana Loud, you need to go to Canal Loud. When it now gets worse, that you've increased the dosage and you are not getting the same feeling, you graduate to Colos. And from Colos, you look at Colos is not giving you the feeling, you want to mix it with other things. These are ways by which people get deep into drug addiction. And can you get some of these things you are getting, you are using drug to get? Naturally, yes. And that is why it is necessary for you to speak to an expert. And we have licensed professional in CubeCover. Make use of them. You might see it as it's just a therapy platform. No, it is far beyond that. And I can tell you that, yes, people come on this platform and get the help. Make use of it. You will learn more better and you will live a healthy life. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Yusuf, for that answer. Very insightful. Please give a thumbs up if you are liking what you're hearing. Thank you. Okay, the next question is I am struggling with procrastination about everything I want to do. How can I solve it? Briefly, Doc.
I think one of the things I would say is I might not totally give the answer fully here, but I think when you reach out and speak to a professional on the platform, we can guide you based on your specific challenges. It's not a one fit for all, but however, procrastination is something that we can treat. One of the things you can do is learn to have a scheduling, do daily scheduling, put out what you want to do with time, put time to it, and in putting time to it, why setting your daily scheduling, put time to relax and time to take break. That makes it to be more effective. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yusuf. The last and not the least question. This one comes from me. How do we help someone that seems like they don't want to be helped?
It might be a difficult one, but yes, we won't give up. We will keep encouraging and give them that support. Make them feel comfortable around you. When they are more comfortable around you, you will see that they begin to want to really trust your judgment, trust your decision, trust your advice. And with that, it could be something that you just push to them. Let's go to a place together. And you know you truly want them to speak with a therapist. And you share your experience sometimes to also ease off that feeling like, oh, asking for help is difficult. By the time you share your experience, they feel that they are not the only one going through the challenges, and they feel comfortable to also share their body. And that point, they might be able to seek for that help and get the support that you want them to get. Thank you.
Okay, we just have one more question. One more question just came in, and this will be the last for this session. The question goes, how does CubeCover facilitate patients suffering from depression and other chronic conditions where patient does not have financial resources? Aside from all the sweet talks and teachings, this is one of the major problem we face as men. Not just the condition, but the age to solve the problem when certain consultants are met. So
I didn't get that clearly. Can you recap, please? I didn't get that.
Okay. How does CubeCover facilitate patients suffering from depression and other chronic conditions where the patient does not have the financial resources? Aside from all the sweet talks and teachings, this is one of the major problems we face as men, not just the condition, but the age to solve the problem when certain consultants are met. And he asked, why is the app not available on Apple Store? So for me to answer that question, yes,
okay.
we are currently coming to Apple Store. Very soon, you will be informed about when to download. Very soon, we are already on the Android store, Android Play Store, but now you will have access to the platform on the Apple Store and you will be informed. Now, let's talk about the question related to financial ability. Look, if you want to look at it, you can get this consultation with doctors. Doctors are available 24/7. Our psychologists are available. The Dr. Yusuf is one of them. Mrs. Fumi is also one of the psychologists, well-trained, licensed, and with many years of experience. You have access to them throughout the month for as low as 500 naira. So if you want to look at it, if you fixed an appointment with a psychologist, how much will you pay? If you fixed an appointment in a hospital to see a doctor, minus the transportation implication and every other thing, how much will you pay? You even have access to medications with that subscription. So it's not accessing CubeCover's healthcare is really not a burden. It's not a burden. And you are always welcome. If you need to talk, and if you need to talk to the psychologist, they are always online. If you need to talk to doctors and receive primary healthcare solutions, they are always online at any time. And if something extends primary healthcare, then we have the means to be able to refer you to appropriate bodies and authorities to further help you in other areas. So please feel free to come on our platform and utilize our services.
Thank you so much, Dr. Faith, for that. So I want us to remember to follow us on all our social media handles. We'll be very available to be of help to us. Thank you so much. And I also want to remind us that true strength doesn't suffer in silence. Real strength speaks. My name is Fumi Olausi. It's an absolute honor moderating this life-changing session for you all. Thank you so much for your time. Stay safe and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much. Bye.